Patreon members are so Mike, whenever we were doing the intro, I got on my TikTok just to I was gonna look at if I posted any videos, like trying to make sure I didn't have any fine editions or anything, because I don't think I have any. But so I got a notification and I saw a comment somebody made on my unboxing of the snow speeder. And I want to read it because it actually made me laugh.
Please do.
And I guess I talk about the moving flaps on the back of the snow speeder. This guy commented, "You're a grown man by the sound of it. If I were you, I would start showing an interest in a different set of moving flaps if you want to be a grown up."
Wow.
Like what that was 57 minutes ago. So
it's so interesting. These people think they got you cooked. I mean, you're a happily grown ass man who owns a house, is married, has a dog, like has a rabbit, and he is such a sad person where he's just like, you know what? I'm feeling bad about myself, so I want to make this guy feel a little bad. And it's funny because why? Who cares?
Right?
Who gives a shit?
It's always funny whenever like the videos that do really well, like that one, it's almost at 100K. Like it reaches just this like audience that's just like I don't really care about, like obviously like guy and
it breaks outside like the toy influence into like regular people. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But that was funny because what was and then the other one I guess we'll talk about. And
we have to bring that one up. We have to talk about it. What's up, Paragon Fuzz? Please explain, because this is a good one.
Yeah, so this guy commented on the reveals video for like the New York Comic Con figures, minus the Coyote. It was all the Skeleton Crew figures. And this guy said, "What pedos are buying these? LOL," with a bunch of exclamation marks. So every kid, if you buy a kid to like a toy of a child,
right?
Is that right? Now we're just pedophiles, I guess. For
correct.
That.
So you cannot be an adult and own action figures of children. You have to be a child.
I have to get rid of my Phantom Menace Anakin now.
Correct. You have to. Phantom Menace, Omega.
The Padme is like 16.
Baby Yoda. Yeah, sure. Padme is
right?
gone.
So we got to get rid of that.
Baby Yoda's Padme. But I think the big one you hit the nail on the head on. I'm gonna give it to you because you said it. It was perfect. What do we have to get rid of?
All the clone troopers. They're only a couple years old, right? Technically, so
they're all 10.
Yep. So if you own a clone trooper, you're automatically a pedo according to this guy. So you got to go to jail.
Put yourself in.
Yeah. But yeah, that's a wild comment.
That's the rule. You cannot be an adult and own action figures of kids. That's just how it is. I don't make the rules. This guy did.
Yeah, we gotta sell everything we have. Got to sell my Gohan now, my kid Gohan.
That's right. No more Gohan. Do you have any Tom Holland Spider-Man figures? I'm pretty sure he's supposed to be a kid in that.
Tom Holland.
He's a high schooler, right?
Even the other two Spideys, right?
Yeah.
Maybe not. Andrew for sure. He was in high school in those movies.
Not Tobey Maguire. I mean, he graduated in the movie.
Yeah.
So I would say but
maybe.
Yeah, you're cooked. It sucks.
I have 2 Arya figures. I'm mega cooked. I am mega cooked now. So I'm just gonna go turn myself in now.
Yeah, you should just turn yourself in. I don't even want to talk to you anymore, right?
Oh, I forgot. We forgot
Jackie. Yeah. Jackie's gone. One of my Marvel X-Men figures came with a little baby, so obviously that's gone.
I got to get rid of this mug.
You're not allowed to have here. You're not allowed to have any children in your collection whatsoever. So, I've got Hot Toys Baby Yodas. Oh God.
Oh yeah,
God.
You're mega cooked now, dude.
Oh,
what a loser comment though. Like what a loser comment. Wild. I love the comments wild. Like in that group chat that we always send back and forth to each other.
Yeah.
There's always like the most absurd thing. Yeah. But you know what's not absurd?
What? Oh, your mustache?
Your mustache.
Your mustache
specifically for you.
No, your mustache 100% is absurd. But I don't think it's as terrible as some of the mustaches I've seen. And what brought this on is just like, it was a comment someone brought up this weekend where it's like, have you noticed more people wearing mustaches? I'm like, yeah, I have. But like, I didn't really think much more of it. But when I was getting on the airplane on Monday, there was this guy.
That's when you have the most time to think.
Oh yeah. But there was, he had to have been like mid-20s. He just had the worst face for his mustache I've ever seen. It was offensive. Like you should not be wearing that mustache. That your face.
Kick him off the plane.
Yeah, like honestly, like are you on a list somewhere? I don't know. So that's what prompted that comment last night. But the thing is, I don't think all mustaches are bad. There are people where like, yeah, your face looks great with a mustache, but like there are just some people like, just be honest with yourself. If you look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, this is it, I'm him, and you're not. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, man. You're not that guy, pal. You're not that guy. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. There's just some people that shouldn't have them and they have them. And I wish that there was like some kind of test you could take to like be like mustache certified.
Mustache certified?
Yeah. Like I have my mustache license. I have my beard license.
Honestly, yeah, they should make that a thing.
Yeah, but I also, I've got a lot of strong opinions on facial hair. Obviously, as someone who
you're like a facial hair aficionado,
a little bit. I've had various forms of facial hair over the years, but since like 2013, without fail, I've had a decent sized beard. It's been longer than other times. Like I've trimmed it up over the years and I've let it grow out over the years. But like, I just I don't know what to tell you, man. I've got strong opinions, but one of my biggest ones are the people. I can't stand bad mustaches, but the opposite is also true. The people that have like the beard, the chin strap part, but like no mustache. And I hate to say it because we have friends that do it, and I know it's part of it is bad genetics. Like they just can't grow it. And I'm like, you know what? If your body's telling you that you can't grow it, maybe just don't. Maybe shave. Maybe, I feel bad because like they can't control that and they really want it. And I know like I'm not ever going to say anything to them. I'm not going to ever like judge them outwardly, but inside I'm like, God damn, if I had to, I would get tweezers and pluck every
individual hair,
every hair off of your face. Because you just shouldn't. And I know that makes me sound like some sort of facial hair fascist, where like I get to control who does and doesn't have facial hair. But God damn it, if I can't control it, who can? Like,
exactly.
This guy, my case is gonna be.
You're like the top of the mountain of facial hair. So
there are better beards out there than mine. But there's one point where I just had my beard was out, like it was down to like here. And you know, when it gets that big, it's I don't like it because it's cumbersome. Like it actually weighs your head
in
down.
the way.
It's in the way. It's hard to eat. It's hard to drink. It's hard to lay down. Like things get caught in it. So, but like when you have a beard that long, you're always kind of looking when you go into a room, like a bar or just like a new place, and you look around like, do I have the biggest beard here? Do I have the biggest beard here? And there was one time I was at a bar where another guy with a big beard, he's like, I think you won this bar. And I was like, you know what? Yours is close too. So we kind of we had the best.
Hey, you bonded over that. Yeah.
Yeah, we bonded over it. We beard bonded.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
that's absolutely amazing.
It's good.
See,
anyways,
I have the problem where like I can get a good beard if I let it grow long enough, but whenever it starts off, it doesn't grow in on the cheeks. Like
you're to fill in.
It grows in really thick on the chin and up here, like here in the chin, but then it's like patchy back here.
So you have like a natural goatee. Stringy. You have like a natural goatee.
Yeah, and then but if I let it get pretty long, which I have before, it kind of all meshes into one.
Sure, and that's fine too.
It's kind of
that's fine too. Yeah, that's just how some people's facial hair is, and that's fine. Like you have like an awkward, like growing pains where you're like that awkward beard teenager where your beard doesn't look cool, but then suddenly it grows up, it matures, and it looks fine. Like that happens. You just gotta work through it.
Well, Paragon still needs to hit puberty first before he can grow hair.
Paragon, when you hit like 16 or 17, I think you'll be fine.
Yeah, for sure. All right, what a Patreon intro. So you ready to jump into the
I outed myself as like a beard fascist. to be fair, I don't want to kill anybody. Like, I don't think these people shouldn't exist. I just think they should have to shave their face. That's all. That's it.
I get it. Yeah.
Not a big deal.
Yeah. I mean, people need to be more self-aware.
Self-awareness. That's all I'm asking. Yeah.
Self-awareness. All right. So I'm ready to rock and roll.
Let's rock. Let's roll. I'm not starting. You're starting.
Oh, I'm starting it?
Yeah.
All right. Welcome to episode 82 of the Black Series Cantina podcast. As always, I'm Zach, and I'm here with Mike.
That's me. I'm Mike all day.
And we have a good amount of stuff to go over today, specifically all of the reveals from New York Comic Con, which there's an amazing figure that was revealed that I cannot wait to talk about, and I've been looking forward to that specific packaging. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. We're going to cover that a little later on. We also have just a little preview, some unfortunate, Hasbro layoffs we'll talk about later on, and then some other news, and then we're going to go over all the reveals. But Mike, I kind of want to start the podcast with, you've been a very busy man lately. Obviously,
I have. Yeah.
On our last podcast, we talked about our trip to ICCCon, but then you just went all the way to the Northeast, right?
Yeah, I went to New Hampshire.
Yeah, for the Secret Galaxy Con. And I have the same problem as you, where anytime I say Toy Galaxy still. So I'm glad I got that one right.
Yeah, no, it's tough. I even did it in front of Dan and Greg, where I like dead named their channel. I felt really bad. I corrected myself instantaneously. But sometimes it just sneaks out because you're so used to Toy Galaxy and Secret Galaxy. Mm-hmm. Secret Galaxy Expo is where I was at. So it was a busy
couple weeks to be Mike Case.
Yeah, it has been. And you know what? I have never felt more semi-famous than when I went to Secret Galaxy Expo, because it was specifically Secret Galaxy, and like, because I do the live streams, so like I'm more in it, but also I've got my own YouTube channel and stuff. So like there are people, and I tell my wife and her friends this whenever it comes up, like in the right situation, in the right circumstances, in the right niche, within the right setting, I'm like a minor celebrity, very minor. There are people out there who know who I am, who watch stuff I make, but like, you have to be all the stars have to align perfectly for anyone to care at all about me. But there it was. It was very nice. I signed a couple things. When we did, so what happened? I'm going to back up a little bit. I was going to jump in, but I'm going to back up just a little bit. I did a red eye from here to New Hampshire, and Boston is actually where I landed. And then Dan picked me up. I did not sleep hardly at all on the plane because it's really hard. I also, you lose 3 hours going there, you know? So like, there's not a lot of time to sleep, but, I didn't sleep at all during the day. And I was running around. We're helping them set up because like, it's a big thing to set up a convention, it was a small convention. There were like maybe 20, 25 vendors there, but it's still a lot of work. So I went to sleep that night at like 10 o'clock and I didn't like, I don't think I consciously knew I was sleeping. I closed my eyes. Next thing I know, it's 5 a.m. and my alarm's going off because we had to get up and be there by 6 to start setting up. Because we had the Boba set to set up. And if anyone listening doesn't know what the Boba set is, this is like Dan Larson's like thing. He's been collecting Boba Fett's for forever. And he has almost 600 Boba Fett's. And like we had to transport them and he had them on little stands and stuff. But like there's no way they all like by the time we got to the place, maybe half of them were still standing up. So we had to take them all inside. We had to set them all up, you know, and have them look good. And it was a whole thing. So that was like the whole day. And I'm doing this on roughly like maybe at most in the last 48 hours at that point, maybe 10 hours of sleep. So, and it was a lot of work. So, but it was fun. It was fun. I met a lot of cool people. Some people were fans of my channel. Some people were fans of the podcast. I was wearing my Black Series Cantina sweatshirt over my Secret Galaxy t-shirt. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. And I bought some stuff that will be in fine editions. But yeah, I will say they don't know if they're going to do it again. I think they should. I've told them they should. Dan, definitely not Greg. Greg's not listening. But Dan, if you're listening right now, I think you should, but you know that. We've talked about it. But if they do it again and you're listening, I recommend going. It was a lot of fun. And I'll probably be there again.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Next year for sure. But yeah, that's all I got. Oh, I did have pictures. I guess I have pictures.
Okay,
real quick for the people watching. Just you know, there we go. So this is the venue. I think it's called, I don't remember what it's called. Honestly, it was a like the foundation or something like that, but it's like a super old building. It was a wedding venue the day before. Like there was a wedding in here, which is why we couldn't set up on the Saturday, because it was in use and that sucked. But yeah, so like Savage Crucibles was there, Spiro Toys to do the animal, was it Animal Kingdom, Animal Warriors of the Kingdom or whatever. And then at the very, very end is Four Horsemen. And there were a bunch of really cool little vendors. Zach, I thought about you on right behind this guy with the little beard. His name is George. He's a Four Horsemen guy. But right behind him was a Pokemon card setup. And
oh, nice.
Nobody, like 0 people. I think there's also Magic the Gathering. But like anytime I looked over there, his table, nobody.
Nothing.
Like not
nothing.
I don't know if they sold one thing there. And it sucks because like they bought a table. Like it wasn't free just to set up, you know. But I don't think they had one person there buy anything.
Oh man, I probably would have bought the card out of like,
I was gonna say out of pity.
Yeah, just out of like, you gotta help the guy out a little bit.
Yeah, I thought about you though. I was like Zach would be there looking at the stuff at the very least.
So I buy one Pokemon card as a gift for a cousin, and now every time you see Pokemon, you're gonna be thinking of me.
Well, you know, that's kind of the thing is I just don't think it was the right venue for cards. Like everyone there.
Yeah. You're there for toys and everything.
Yeah, I think if more people were there, younger, like Gen Z, maybe even a little bit younger than that, it probably would have been more popular because I know that's more popular with that age. But like, I would say 70% of the people were like in their 35 and like up, so like closer to my age, closer to like Dan's age, where it's not our thing for sure. Yeah. For the most part, I'm not saying it's not 100%. No one is a paragon of their age bracket, but for the most part, I don't think it was the right venue for them. But to kind of go with what I was talking about earlier, with the Boba set, honestly, the pictures they don't do it justice, because you can see a picture of like a lot of things, and until you see it in person, it doesn't really hit. But
like, you can tell that's a massive table.
It's a massive table. So there's a Boba Fett next to it. That's a like 6 foot tall ceramic Boba Fett. You can see like his arm and stuff on the side of there. But what's fun is there are a bunch of little, like, I don't know about Easter eggs, but like there's some unique Boba Fetts in there. Like there's one in the bottom corner here who's sitting down because he doesn't have any feet. There's one in there with like a hook for a hand, because like Dan likes played with Bobas, like not pristine, like he goes for junkers to add it in, because,
and these are all like Kenner vintage.
Every one of them is from the vintage line, not the newer vintage line.
Yeah, the actual 77 or the 80, not 77, but 80.
Yeah. I think, and the one on the top in the middle is the one from his childhood. That's his number one. And then there's one on the bottom, right in the middle, and that's the one that I gave him.
Nice.
So yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun to set up. It was a lot of work to set up. And while I was doing it, I was like, this is a skill that only a specific kind of person would be good at, of setting toys up without knocking them all over.
You are perfectly qualified,
right? It's like I have a set of skills, and like this is the only time it'll.
You know what you should do? You should take, next time you're in like proximity to the Boba set, take like a little tiny piece of like sticky paper and put it on the foot of the one of his as a kid, and then swap it with the different one.
Swap it so I know. Yeah.
And then see if and then let him know he has to find the one and see if he can pick it out. And something that's not going to permanently stick on the foot.
Sure. Something I could, that could be fun. But at the same time, I mean, I don't want Dan to stop being my friend.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
Just saying.
That probably wouldn't go over well. But
I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds like a great time, and busy time being Mike Hastings, hitting up every convention in the nation. It sounds like you just
I'm working on it, and hopefully next year I'll be at even more. There's a lot of like weird little conventions that happen in like the middle of the country that, when or on the other side, where when you're in Southern California, you're about as far as you can get from most places.
Well, maybe soon you won't have to travel as far to get to some of these East.
That would be nice. That would be nice.
Midwest conventions.
Yep.
But I guess we can go ahead and jump into fine additions.
Yeah.
Fine addition to my collection.
And I'll go first.
Sure.
Real quick, because I bought this custom Commander Cody. With
on purpose,
right on time. I spent like $80 on it.
Oh no!
No, I'm just joking. I've had this for a long time. It's just the archive Cody with a custom Palpatine hologram that I superglued on there. But I actually don't have anything, so I'm going to hand the fine edition baton to you now to go.
Fair enough. Well, I've got 2 Black Series things, so I'm just going to get those out of the way.
It's a good podcast to do that.
Yeah. I found in store the one from the new wave I was missing, and that is the Ahsoka. And I think it was Mr. Coffee that had her, and I was gonna wait
at the con, yeah.
And I'm like, actually, I kind of like her, and I know they're gonna come out with one with a robe. Like I know it, but I also just want it now. So I'll cross that bridge when it happens.
I was messing with that figure, and he kind of convinced me to go ahead and buy it, even though I've still stood strong, because he made a good point. He said, it's a great figure, and you know the soft goods cloak that comes with the next one isn't going to be good anyways.
It's going to be garbage. It's going to be trash.
You know, like they haven't done good soft goods. I mean, I guess like some of the Acolyte stuff was good because the hoods were down.
Like
usually like cloaks and all that.
Yeah.
Cloaks usually they don't do very good. So it's a good point. You know, it's not a bad argument.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, I also did get the Holocom Vader.
There it is.
This is the first Holocom I've ever spent money on. The one I have before, Landspeeder Luke sent me. I didn't pay for it. So, but I think it's funny. Look at the robe on mine, like the cape.
He's like flying.
it's up. I haven't opened it. This is how it came. Is that the cape is like up.
Mm-hmm.
It's so weird. But that is my Black Series pickups. I did get some other stuff. So Transformers wise, I got this YOLO Park Starscream model kit, and he goes. I've gotten the Megatron and the Optimus, and I've talked about them on the show before. This just it's fun. It looks good. $50. You get a cool little jet robot man that doesn't transform, but he's got good articulation. And sometimes when you get old enough, that's like all you care about is just you just want a fun toy, you know?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But also in that same vein, I did get my Studio Series Commander class, Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime. And for anyone that doesn't follow Transformers, that's a lot of nonsense speak for a $90 Optimus Prime that looks like he came from the cartoon. This is, if anyone's wondering, probably the best Optimus Prime you can buy if you want one that looks like one from the 80s, like from the cartoon, which is my Optimus Prime. Like that, I know a lot of people are like,
it's the coolest one. Prime. The cartoon is the coolest one.
Well, they're like, you know, the Bayverse is mine or whatever. Like, this is my Optimus Prime, and this is about as good as it gets. So I got him. I even took him with me on the plane just to have a little toy to play with. But then I did get some G.I. Joes as well. I'm winding down on Joes. These are leftovers from, I just didn't cancel them, but I also kind of wanted them. So this guy right here, his name is Raptor. And he has these really cool, like, vulture wings, like from Spider-Man.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks a lot like what's that guy's name? That
Vulture?
Vulture, yeah, Vulture.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks cool. He's got these like Wolverine claws and stuff. They're supposed to go in his hands, but I heat them up and put them around his wrists because I think that looks better, and they fit better. So I got that guy. I also got this guy. His name is Road Pig. He's just this big fat dude with a cinder block on a bat.
Yeah, that's kind of sick, actually.
Yeah, but then he also comes with this really cool little pit bull dog. I don't know. I kind of dig it. Like,
I've always liked the G.I. Joe animals.
Yeah, honestly, G.I. Joe. So I know we don't talk about G.I. Joe reveals, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say one of the things
polar bear?
Revealed, the polar bear
Looks so cool.
The polar bear. I mean, come on, like it's
one of the best things revealed from New York Comic Con, I would say.
For sure,
polar bear.
For sure,
how cool it looked.
And then I got just a few more things. One of them is this. This is the Savage Crucible line. This was not on my radar, but I think Nate got some. There's like lizard guys or whatever. And this one's mostly naked because I bought him because there's also an accessory pack that I bought. And it comes with like a bunch of weapons and armor pieces, so I can swap out these body parts and put like armored versions on there. So he's not going to be naked once I get around to it. But he came with this head, which I like this head a lot better. It's like a Dilophosaurus head. And he came with a bunch of like weapons and stuff. I just haven't had time because I've been home for like a day. I haven't had time to like mess around with him because I want to heat him up and things like that so I don't break him. But I mean, he looks cool. He's like a little lizard guy. I'll put some pictures on my Instagram once I do that. And then the last thing is I did pick up 3 Cosmic Legions.
He's always picking up the cosmic or mythical.
I love cosmic.
That's like your main line these days.
It kind of is, but they don't come out that often. So when they come out, it's a big deal. But these are 2 from the last wave. No, is it last wave or the wave before? But it was the wave before, I think. But I didn't pick them up. So it's this alien dude. He's got really cool robes. Yeah, everything's wired, so you can pose it so it looks cool. He's really tall. And then this chick, she comes with some guns and like she's got an alternate head and she's got the staff. Like that's cool. I like them. Again, I haven't had a lot of time to mess around with them. But then I got this guy. He's like a heavy gunner guy. He's like a Halo guy. Like
yeah, I see it.
I don't know what
the armor, the green armor.
Yeah, the green armor and stuff. He is supposed to have a little shoulder piece on here, but I have to heat it up to get it in. And again, I haven't had time to really mess around with him. But I wanted him the most, and I was gonna order him because you can just buy it, but it was like $10 shipping. And I'm like, I'm gonna be there anyway. I just bought a $400 plane ticket to save on $10 of shipping.
Yeah, that's how they get you right there.
That's how they get me. But yeah, Paragon Fuzz. Yeah, Studio 86 Prime is sold out a lot of places. I got mine from Pulse. He is 100% worth it. He's not perfect, but when you get him, you're gonna like him. I promise. Anyways, that's all I got. That's everything.
Nice, good. Yeah, good little segment of fine editions for you there. Before we jump into listener emails, I kind of wanted to ask you your thoughts on the Ghostbuster HasLab.
Great question. It's just like almost anything else. It's not for me, but I hope that people who want it get everything. I know there's some interesting things about it. Like number 1, no tiers.
Mm-hmm.
There are it's a tiered one where there's like a deluxe version and a regular version, kind of like the Cantina.
Yep.
And honestly, if you're listening to this, if you're backing it, I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't just pay the extra $70 and get so much more
for all of this extra stuff. And only you said it was $70.
It's $70 more. You get 4 figures. That right there is the $70 right away. You get a bunch of accessories, a bunch of like, just it's worth.
You get an alternate top for the car.
Yeah, because you get the stuff to make it Ghostbusters 2 instead of Ghostbusters.
Mm-hmm.
So I think what a lot of people are doing is they're buying one of each. They're buying the deluxe version and then the regular version so they can have both movies for it. But and that's cool. Like I hope that it funds. Really hope that it hits the 2-week early bird for people. That's a big ask. I don't know what it's at right now. What is it at right now?
It is at $61.94.
So roughly halfway, a little over halfway. Yeah, 12,000. Yeah. But I know when it hits 2 weeks, if it funds, you get the Tully from Ghostbusters 2 and the Ghostbusters outfit. So I hope that it does that for those people, but it's just not anything I'm interested in. But I think for what you get, like Ghostbusters doesn't get a lot. So I think it's fine. I think it's worth the money if you're into it. Like it's got lights. It's got a lot of accessories. It's 6-inch scale. Like everything looks great.
Yeah, I think it looks really cool. And I'm glad there's no tiers. So I'm kind of excited that maybe we can get the same thing if they bring it back to Black Series.
It's one of those things that anytime you see something like this happen, you always think, how would this translate for the future? And how would it translate to like a Black Series?
Yeah.
HasLab.
All right, so let's jump into listener email. So we have an email from Commander Cook here. He says, I believe both of you own at least one Hot Toy, but is there any figure that if Hot Toys made, you could not resist, whether it be Star Wars or another franchise?
Ooh.
Also, I would just say, I don't know if it's quite at that status, but I would love to see the Sith Trooper in the Black Series Hall of Fame. The Sith Trooper is a great figure. I would say it could eventually get, I wouldn't rule it out.
Oh, no. I think given long enough, it'll definitely get there at some point. And the thing is, I don't want to treat the Hall of Fame like a top 10 list. It's kind of like the Baseball Hall of Fame or Rock Hall of Fame. Like you don't look at that and see someone who's new and say, oh, that means they're not as good as what came before. Like that's not how it works. Like when you're inducted into the Hall of Fame, everyone's kind of equal, you know? So it's not a top 10 list.
Yeah, like if you get in first, it doesn't make you better in our list.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So if it takes a year or so for like the Sith Trooper to get in, it doesn't mean that we don't like it. I do think the Sith Trooper is a great figure.
It's fabulous.
Yeah. So I definitely could see it happening for sure. I just don't know when.
But a hot toy that if they made it, I couldn't resist it. I feel like at this point, honestly, there's probably not one. Like if I feel like it was the Vader that I bought from the Kenobi series. But honestly, I don't think there's a character from a show that I couldn't resist. If they made like a new Anakin, I know, shocker, surprise, that wasn't the rooted hair version, I'd consider it because I think it'd be cool to have that next to that Vader, you know, and just to have like a very minimal hot toy display of like, you know, kind of both sides of the character, I think would be really cool. Paragon Fuzz is saying Hot Toys Rancor. That would be crazy. But they did the rooted hair version and it was limited and it was like $480 or $550 or something crazy, and I don't think it looks that good anyways. So
not in person. The
promo images look fabulous, but I've seen it in person. It's like I'm not going to sit there and brush my Hot Toys figure hair every day, you know.
We could have like a
really what
party.
Yeah. But honestly, I don't think there's one that exists that I would like absolutely just like couldn't resist. Is there one out there for you that comes to mind?
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. Like I feel like I've already been there with Hot Toys. Like the Vader was definitely one where I'm like, oh, I can't not buy this. I thought Cad Bane was going to be that way for me, but I passed on him. You know, I have a Mandalorian. Are there better ones out there? Sure, but like since I have one, I don't really feel like I need it. I've got the Hot Toy Biker Scout speeder bike in IG-11, and that's like one of my favorite scenes in Star Wars, and that's kind of what got me into it. Like I've got Commander Cody and Captain Rex. I've got Ahsoka and Darth Maul, so they can be together. But so like those are kind of all of my like check marks right there where like, oh no, if they did this, I would need it. I genuinely can't think of any figure that I would need in a Hot Toy variant.
Yep. Same here. So Commander Cook, we really appreciate the question. The next question is from Jeff Esplin. Greetings from Kentucky. Hey, that's
where you're from.
Yeah, that's where I am. Did I send this email? I support Zach's push for an all-new Anakin Skywalker. Surely we're getting one next year for the 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith. I've been thinking about the Force Ghost Anakin Skywalker. The set is $60 on Big Bad Toy Store. Do you think the Force Ghost set is worth picking up, even just for the Hayden Christensen Ghost? The prequel era was my Star Wars for context. Love the content, brothers. May the Force be with you, Jeff. So, I mean, you don't have to ask me. I bought 2 of them because I think it's a beautiful set, and I'm actually going to grab it. So I have one loose, and I have one in the box because I think this is just like an amazingly beautiful set, even like on card if you were to take them out. But it looks fabulous like this. You can see the characters, you can see they're on a card, and you get this nice, beautiful display. And I love it. And I got this it was like on sale on Disney or Shop Disney for like $42 or something, or $50, something like 45, something like that. So that was, and it was like 40 something and free shipping. So it was like a no brainer to grab it. But I mean, I would recommend it personally if you're one of those people who like aren't going to buy it because it's not Sebastian, Shaw. So I would recommend it. I think it's great. And especially if you can get it for a good price like that. I mean, I've seen on eBay the card that Anakin could go for I've seen it go for like $50 before. I don't if like that's what you're into. So
I don't know if I could recommend it for just Anakin at that price. If that's all you cared about is just Anakin Skywalker, like you said, just Anakin on eBay was going for like $50 or something. Like you have to just really love Hayden Anakin to pay that much for it. If that's all you care about. If you just like that scene, like for me, and you sent me the 3D printed little wooden bridge that Landspeeder Luke did, and I love that display. So for me to have that represented on my shelf, $60 is a great price. I paid full price for it. I was like, was it 90? Is that?
I think it was like 30 something a figure when it came out.
It was it's bonkers. It was too expensive, but I'm the kind of person where like, yeah, that's what I want. I'm just gonna get it.
Yep. Also, it has the newer Yoda.
The newer Yoda.
The correct on from the Dagobah Luke one, so you don't get the giant Yoda. You get the actual appropriate scale one, and you get the photo reel on Ben Kenobi. So
the one everyone wants. The
one everyone wants.
Yeah, I think for casual fans, that's a good price. Hardcore fans would have already bought it. If you just care about Hayden, that's tough for me to say because like I don't know if I would spend that much money just for one figure.
Yep, and I'm looking on eBay now. It has dropped. There's one for like 30, like just an Anakin for like 35.
I would say go buy that. Don't buy the whole thing.
Yeah.
If you only care about
Anakin, don't spend 60. Yeah. Go find it carded on eBay for 35 or $30.
Yeah.
So thank you for the question, Jeff. We really appreciate it. Our next question is from Zippy Clips. Because I know it's heavily rumored to be coming out, but do you guys think it's taking so long to get a New Hope Han Solo because the original had so many accessories, and these days it would be considered a deluxe? If they don't give us the same accessories, people will be unhappy. If they price it as deluxe, people will talk about how the original wasn't and bring up the point that we used to get a lot more for one figure. I love your show, guys. Brandon. So I don't think that's specifically why. I think they've released stuff. I mean, they've released that same figure without the accessories before, just on a different card. I think it's just timing, and they don't want to do it too soon. But now that we're getting Luke and Leia, I think it's just timing that makes the most sense to get in a New Hope Han. But I wouldn't say like that's specifically the reason why it's taking so long.
Yeah, I mean, people are going to say that regardless because it's not going to come with everything. But you have to look at the Han Solos that were released after that. The Bespin Han, Endor Han. You get Han, you get a blaster, and that's it. So it's
going to be Han.
It's going to be the same thing. You're going to get Han, you're going to get a blaster. It's going to cost $25. I don't think they'll do a deluxe version. I don't think it'll come with all the different like belts and hands and blasters. Yeah. It's just one of those things though. It does suck. I'm not defending Hasbro, but that time's gone and you just have to accept it. It sucks, but like dwelling on it isn't healthy. You just kind of acknowledge it. Yep, it used to be better. Now this is what we got. But you also have to look at how different the line is now too. Back then, the part count now is higher. They have the overlays and stuff like that. The tooling costs more. Shipping costs more. The digital face printing process costs more.
The plastic alone costs more. Everything.
Yeah.
Cardboard.
Everything.
Containers.
Costs more. Yeah. And unfortunately, that cost gets passed to us, and that's just how it is as consumers. That's why I don't want to get super political here, but anyone going like, oh, just put tariffs on everything, it'll no, the cost, no matter what, always hit the consumers. It doesn't hit countries, it hits the consumers. We pay more. Anytime anything like that goes up, they don't eat that cost. We do 100% of the time. Don't fool yourself into thinking otherwise. It sucks. It's the reality of capitalism and, how our world works for manufacturing. And I'm not bagging on capitalism. That's just the state we're in. That it is what it is. But if you want to dwell on it and be like, oh, this old one came with more stuff, like, sure, but move on at some point, please.
Yep. And so we appreciate the emails, blackseriescantina@gmail.com. If you want to shoot us an email, keep the email segment alive, please.
Yes.
We look forward to getting them for the next show. Speaking of supporting the show, you can support us on Patreon. I think it's patreon.com/blackseriescantina. We have a tier for every budget. $2 up to, $11 gets you access to join us live. It's $11.38 for the Star Wars reference. So we would appreciate that. If you want to sign up and support the show in any way, that would be great. But on to some news. You ready to talk about some sad stuff to kick us off?
I'd rather not. I'd rather not have to talk about this, to be honest.
But it is an unfortunate reality. People do get laid off in the world. Some of us have experienced it firsthand. Yeah,
is this raw for you?
Well, I mean, it's not bad because I feel like with what I do, it doesn't seem that hard to get another job. But if you're working in the toy industry,
how many different toy companies are there?
Yeah, so this really sucks. I mean,
yeah.
So if you're not familiar with what's going on, the news reported today, literally just a couple hours ago, that Hasbro is apparently doing more layoffs. And then specifically, there was like a G.I. Joe and Transformers team lead that everybody kind of knows. Yeah, and you've talked with before, right? You interviewed, you said?
Yeah, when during San Diego Comic-Con in 2019, Hasbro Pulse had the HasLab Unicron reveal party at a bar that had a concert going on with like Vince DiCola and like a bunch of other nerd bands and stuff. It was all Transformers themed. Like all the actors and voice actors were there. It was a fun night, but we were invited to be there because we knew a guy who was running it. That was our in. And we had a fun conversation with John. He was kind of in charge of that marketing campaign, the Unicron. So we had a good night. We had a fun time, and he was a cool guy.
So hopefully, everybody that we see like this on the Star Wars team is safe. Last time this happened, I did have a source within Hasbro that said everybody on the Star Wars team, that we see was safe. So hopefully that's the same this time. I'll see if I can get a report like that. But you sent a tweet to the group chat where this person said, this one's from James Zahn on Twitter, breaking news exclusively. Hasbro has revealed organizational changes designed to cut speed to market time and allow design to value from the start. Which,
it's bullshit.
If you break that down,
jargon.
That's literally just PR for less people will do more work, because
100%.
You're basically saying we're not going to get it to the market, or we're not going to get it to the shelves as fast. We're going to focus on value and quality. Like, you're going to have less people doing more work, which has already been the case after the last layoffs. And I have a source within, I don't want to say too specifically, but that making figures and designing figures has been, a lot less people are in that, Hasbro office these days, and it's a very stressful situation. So hopefully that doesn't get even more stressful for them moving forward here. So fingers crossed. But and I think last time it was like Emily's husband, and it was
Emily's husband. Yes,
he had created a line for them. I forget exactly what it was, but he kind of launched like an actual figure line that did pretty good.
Yeah, but he got a job over at is it Skeletron or whatever? It's a different toy company. He's doing okay now, I think. But yeah.
So hopefully those people who get cut, and I'm sure it might also just be people in the background, like administrative, they might cut some of those, and executive assistants or, finance people, those.
As long as Eric is safe, as my baby boy, Eric,
we need Eric safe, and we need Hero Collections Brandon to be safe. So, and the Star Wars team. So, but moving on to some more news, apparently Hasbro's also cutting. This is per Yak Face, and I guess he said that, I don't have the exact quote, but Steve Evans made a comment on a post or something, I'm not 100% sure. But apparently they're reducing the amount of pipeline reveals going forward to increase like the surprise of when the figure is revealed. So that's a great idea in theory, but this just means that Yak's going to start spoiling more stuff again. So I'm not sure how much that, because they created the pipeline basically because Yak would always. So essentially, Hasbro just needs to pay Yak Face to not leak stuff, right? If they really want it to be a surprise,
they need to just fix their leaks. Is the problem?
Yeah. So like it's also just been worse because of all these factory leaks now. So
yes.
Even if we're not getting pipelines, we know Savage Press is on the way. We know
100%. Yeah, they're like, yeah, we knew that Cody was coming. Like that wasn't a surprise. There's a lot of stuff that we know is coming because of we've got blurry pictures from a Chinese factory floor.
Yeah,
with no head on it.
Maybe because of all these layoffs, they don't have anybody to like quality control their security and make sure there's people aren't leaking and taking phones into the warehouse and. But
yeah, I gotta say, I mean, I like the idea of this. I do. You know, there are a lot of, there have been a lot of reveals, like live streams, where the pipeline has been the best part of that stream, where like we didn't really care about what they announced, but we cared about what they sort of pre-announced. We were super excited for that. But then the problem comes when those pre-announcements get officially announced. We've already known they were coming, so they're not as exciting as they would have been had they been surprises, you know?
Yeah.
So I get it. I get why they wouldn't want to do that. I think it's I want to say I think it's the right move. It's the more fun move, but at the same time it's not fun because it is fun getting spoiled at some points.
Yeah, for sure.
But like we've had two reveals, you know, we've had the PulseCon and we've had now New York Comic-Con, which they only had one panel that encompassed everything.
Yeah,
but that's two streams where we've had no
pipeline reveals.
No pipeline reveals. So I don't know if that means on 10/27, which is this Sunday, if maybe they'll have a pipeline for that. Because it will be dedicated, or if they're just going to not pipeline, and what we have in the pipeline is going to be it, you know?
Yep. And then speaking of what we have in the pipeline, I wanted to throw a little pipeline update in here just to give the audience and ourselves a reminder. So right now we have Kelnaka,
which we've seen. Hold on. Let's go slowly. So Kelnaka, we've seen his lightsaber from those leaks, and that's it.
That was his lightsaber, and it looks good. The paint on it looked good.
Sure.
And the green on it looked very vibrant, which was really good to see. Moff Gideon, Dark Trooper,
which we've seen the
helmet.
The helmet of,
the Praetorian Guard from that Mando episode.
Which I don't think we've seen anything of that.
I don't think we've seen anything on that.
Yeah.
The Anakin from the Ahsoka show, the Clone Wars flashback, which we've seen the head sculpt.
His head sculpt looks good, and the body is a reuse of the old one, kind of.
Yep.
Hooray!
Exciting. And then Phase 1 Captain Rex, which we've seen the body.
I think we've seen the body of that. Yeah.
And Dash Rendar is the last.
Has that been? That hasn't been pipelined.
He has.
No, he hasn't. He got leaked, kind of, but he wasn't part of the official pipeline.
Are we sure?
Yeah, I'm positive.
This was Yak's list, so don't yell it. I feel like I remember seeing him on the pipeline picture.
He wasn't on the pipeline picture. I promise.
Are we positive?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm gonna try to find it. I feel like he was on there.
He was listed. He was listed on the Prince Shizor description on the website.
Oh yeah, you're right.
But he was never in the pipeline. Like he's not.
See, I knew it was something from Hasbro. You're right. So, but Yak has him on there because I guess we know he's on the way.
We know he's coming,
but he's not officially in the pipeline.
Correct.
Well,
it's semantics, but I'm sticking with it.
Yes, I agree. You're factually correct.
Otherwise, you should have Savage Press. Yeah, because we've seen him. We know he's coming. Yeah, it's funny.
Well, hopefully, it's not just like a. Oh, we're not.
Oh, right.
It didn't work out, you know. So
we're
not.
Oh, it's kind of funny because we just got the Hot Toys Savage announced, and I've seen so many comments of like, "When are we getting this in the Black Series?" Like, how do you not pay attention?
Yeah, you got to listen to Black Series Cantina.
You got to listen to Black Series Cantina. Or just, like it's all over social media.
Just follow anybody on Instagram.
Follow literally anyone on Instagram. When those got leaked, he was everywhere. How are you not following Yakface? How are you not following these big accounts to keep in the know? Like I don't understand.
Maybe they did follow a big account, but it got maybe their Instagram account that they followed got banned like a year.
Maybe that could be it. That could be it. That could be it.
Now they're just clueless. They're lost. They don't know what's going on now.
I guess I just don't understand people that don't make the Black Series their entire lives. I don't trust people that don't make the Black Series their entire waking lives.
Yeah, it is kind of weird. Like especially in those Facebook groups.
Yeah.
Whenever like a lot of people are kind of casual, so like they're asking questions that have been answered like 3.5 months ago,
a million times. Yeah.
And it's like you got to put yourself in like I don't understand how you don't.
I have a hard time sometimes. Like I really do, and I know I can come off as an asshole, but I just have such a hard time whenever someone's like, "Is this 6-inch or 3.75 inch?" I'm like, my brother in the force.
Yeah.
Anything Black Series has been 6 inches since like 2018. Like that's it. It's not labeled as anything else. Like this shouldn't be a question. I don't understand how this is a question.
Yeah, I get that comment nonstop on TikTok. It's like, do you not see my name? It's Star Wars Black Series. Like, how do you not know Black Series is only 6 inch? Like you just said, it's been that way for literally a decade.
For a while. While. Not a decade, but at least 5 years.
Yeah.
At least 5 years, 6 years, like somewhere around there. It's been quite some time.
A long time.
Yeah.
But all right, moving on. So more news. We have the 1027 fan stream is coming up, and if you had to guess the date, it is October 27. So be on the lookout for that. 1027 is October 27.
That's crazy.
That is kind of wild, and it will be at noon Eastern time. And I think you have to be a Pulse Premium member, but if you have a connection, you can get a link and watch it. Usually, I think we've had like. I can't remember last year, but they usually like 1 or 2 Black Series reveals. Not a lot, but we should get a reveal or 2 on that. So I imagine something in the pipeline. What do you think we would see, if anything? Maybe Kel Naka. I think that would kind of make sense.
Yeah, I think we'll see. I'm not expecting a lot, but I think we'll see some stuff. I would like for them to finish off the pipeline. Like if they could wipe out the pipeline totally.
Oh,
like
I don't think they're gonna do that.
I don't think they will. I'm just saying I would like it. Okay, that's all I said was I'd like it.
Yeah, you're right. It's semantics, but
yeah. I think we'll probably see Kel Naka. We'll probably see Moff Gideon and probably the Praetorian Guard.
Okay, I'm gonna go with 2. I think we're only get 2, and I think it's gonna be. I think they might make it both Moff Gideon and Praetorian Guard, just kind of wipe out that Mandalorian type thing, and then make Kel Naka like a enews.com reveal at like 11 a.m. on a rain.
I don't know. I was surprised. We got 6 reveals at New York City Comic Con, and that wasn't even like that was like everything squished into one panel. So yeah, I was kind of surprised at how much got revealed in such a short amount of time, and not just Star Wars, but G.I. Joe and Marvel Legends. Speaking of which, like I backed the Marvel Legends Sentinel, $175. Like this is what I want. They're doing the exact same thing that they should have been doing the whole time, where it's made to order, $175. No tiers. It's not as big as the HasLab Sentinel, but it's still big. It's like there's like a 4 or 5 inch difference, 6 inches at most, but it's still big. And it's what I wanted, and it's at a price that I feel is good. So Hasbro, if you're listening, do that with the Book of Boba Fett Rancor. Like maybe because it's not as big as the Rancor from Jabba's palace. It's a little bit smaller. Do that. Give us the Book of Boba Fett, and a little saddle for him to sit on, like $175, made to order, no problem. I would back it. I would buy it. I wouldn't even, you have to back it. You just pre-order it.
Yeah, or if it's made to order, I'd probably still be in on too,
Yeah.
We can only hope.
We can only hope. Yeah. But we also do still have the MCM, the London
the London Comic Con.
Yeah.
That's right. Man, yeah, so when is that?
I think next week. I think it's beginning of November.
All right, so yeah, we have a couple things. So hopefully our next podcast will have a couple reveals to cover. Because reveals are always cool, and we're going to jump into reveals in just 1 second. But
just a bit.
This is kind of tied to reveals. It's going to segue us into our first reveal. But Count Dooku and R2-D2 were confirmed by Yakface to also be coming in the Revenge of the Sith 20th anniversary packaging, which is so amazing. So we're going to go ahead and jump into our New York Comic Con reveals to talk about the first figure they revealed for their 20th anniversary of Episode 3. And Mike, whenever I saw this packaging,
I can only imagine.
I haven't been like that excited over something that's so meaningless in my entire life, essentially.
Yeah.
Like, because obviously toys, like, they don't, at the end of the day, they're not,
they're just toys,
but they're just toys. But like this made me so happy. And because I woke up, obviously, I've been sleeping in a little lately.
Hold on. GamerZone says MCM London is October 25th to the 27th. So it's the same weekend as the.
Okay. So we might have a couple more reveals.
Yeah.
On the same week, which would be cool. But so I woke up and I was checking my phone, and then I noticed I had a couple messages in the group chat, so I was looking at those, and then Justin sent one of the pictures of Commander Cody. And I was like, oh, the new Commander Cody got revealed, but it wasn't the package, like it was just the figure.
Sure.
And then so I'm like, oh, that's really cool. And then I opened Instagram to see like maybe if there was any official photos put out there, like HD ones or whatever. And then the first thing I saw was like the packaging, like that shot right there on the left, but with the white background, because we couldn't get the black background version until the next day, which is a little frustrating. Hasbro PR sent it a little earlier. Sorry for the complaint, but
you're never happy. You can never be satisfied.
I can never be happy. But I was so ecstatic when I saw like they're actually doing this packaging, and I know like it was kind of expected because they've done throwback packagings for Phantom Menace and all the carded ones and everything. But like it was always in the back of my mind, like, well, maybe that's the one they like. What if they don't do that one? What if they skip over Episode 3? But to finally, we know we're getting one, and then we have two more rumored by Yak, which will be Count Dooku and R2. And I really want like an Order 66 Vader, like an Anakin, like a dark side version in this packaging. I think that would look amazing. So I'm still holding a hope for that. Obviously, the odds are a lot smaller now because we already know of 3, and they usually don't do more than like 3 or 4 of these throwback packaging type things. But there's still hope, I think. But maybe, they could do an Anakin in this packaging in a HasLab, for his, interceptor one day. So
sure.
You never know.
That's an option.
But specifically about this Commander Cody, Mike, what are your thoughts whenever you saw this revealed?
I mean, it's everything I really wanted in a new Commander Cody. We have removable helmet. He's got the blaster. He's got the new body sculpt, which for me is the biggest deal, because even if he didn't have a removable helmet, it's that body, that old body, that old Commander Cody just sticks out like a sore thumb.
Yeah. And he's just so hard to pose and way outdated for a modern
so if they didn't do anything but Commander Cody on the new body, I would have been happy. But we got the removable helmet. It's not perfect, but better than nothing, I guess. But I think the big thing is that little tiny clone Order 66 clone or the hologram. That's what I was trying to say. I wasn't expecting it to actually come with that.
Yeah, that's honestly the most surprising part. Because you figure like it would have to, like it just makes sense. It doesn't make sense that the original one did not come with it.
I agree, but
especially back in a time whenever they gave us so many accessories.
I wasn't expecting a new figure because it's not just like sure it's a reuse of the same body we've had before, but there's also a lot of new sculpt here. Like Commander Cody's got a unique armor set, so they had to sculpt new parts. I wasn't expecting them to also give us a new accessory. I just I was expecting same old cheap Hasbro to just kind of bare bones this.
Yeah, and they did go a little bit cheap Hasbro, and I know there's a couple details missing. Yeah, the little gray stripe on his forearm is supposed to go like up to his bicep as well. Honestly, if I have to go on Google to even remember there's a gray stripe,
that's nitpicking.
I don't care at all about the gray stripe, if I'm being honest.
I think the biggest thing is the lack of the scar on the face.
The scar on the helmet is one that bothers me. I feel like I really appreciate they gave us a new, sculpted thing with the Palpatine hologram, but we have to have the scar on the head. That's what makes him Cody, right? That's what.
Otherwise, he just has any other clone trooper head.
Yeah, like this figure, I'm really excited for it. I'm more excited about to have. I'm gonna buy two. Obviously, I have pre-ordered two.
Same.
One for the wall, one for the shelf.
It's Walmart exclusive. So if you don't order two, you have to pay shipping.
Exactly. But I'm more excited about the packaging and to put it on the wall than I am for the figure. Because I do like the figure, but one thing that really bothers me with it is the paint on it. So I really like the black scratches and like scuff marks on his chest, like the torso area. I think it looks really good. But that being so good makes the arms and the legs and the back look way too clean, in my opinion. Specifically, like the back, I can do away with, but like when you look at this picture, the legs are so clean.
Yeah, it just looks like an unfinished. It's dirty. Yeah.
And the arms are so clean. He has some scratches on his shoulder, but it's not those like black scuff marks. So it almost just looks like an unfinished custom. And then especially since he doesn't have that scar, it kind of gives me custom vibes. So,
would you trade the hologram for the missing paint apps?
No.
I agree.
I honestly, I have this custom, like it was like resin 3D printed and sent to me a long time ago, the little Palpatine hologram. Yeah. I don't know if I would trade that for the scar. I feel like that's a toss up. I'd like flip.
Well, I'm honest. I'm not going to display him without the helmet on anyway.
That's
like it's
true.
cool that the helmet comes off.
Yeah,
it's cool that the helmet comes off. You know what he does have, which is really neat. He has a spot on his belt for Obi-Wan's lightsaber.
He does.
I think that's cool. That's a cool little piece, which I think could implicate maybe a new Obi-Wan Kenobi.
And you know what I think they're going to do? You remember how we got the new prequel Yoda?
Mm-hmm.
In the 2-pack with Gree?
You think you're going to have an Obi-Wan Commander Cody?
I think if I had to predict it, they'll do a 2-pack with Cody and Obi-Wan. That's the Cody where we'll get the scar. And so you got to buy the second one to get the scar. And then
And you know what? I would do it.
Oh yeah, for sure. We'll get a.
I'd hate it.
Oh, I'd do it and I'd love it. We'd get.
I hate that I love it.
Yeah. We'd get a new Obi-Wan. We'd get the Commander Cody, and he'd have like in the packaging, he'll have the hilt on his belt, and then once that ships, they'll announce the single packed Obi-Wan. If I had to guess, that would make sense. He has the hole there for a reason. I was also thinking, like maybe if the Palpatine hologram pops off of the puck, if that stores on there, but it doesn't really look like it pops off.
I don't think it does. I think it's all one piece. Now, my other question is that a different hand? Because it kind of looks, it's hard to tell.
Oh, I don't think it is. I think it's a trigger. I see the space between the index and the middle
so it's just the way they've positioned it in there.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, one hand on the code.
That's fine.
Yeah, so pretty excited about this one. They did paint apps could be a little better, but overall,
again, definitely
by this.
It's not a perfect figure release, but it's an exciting one. which I think is more important. Now, here's my question. Obviously, you said Yak Face has Count Dooku and for some reason R2D2 coming out in this packaging. Let's say those two aren't. We have Cody here. Let's say there's 3 more. Who would you want to see in this packaging?
Ooh, that's an excellent
What's up,
question. Pletho? I would do an Order 66 Darth Vader, so it's just Anakin with like Sith eyes, and the robe.
Okay,
but on the packaging, call it Darth Vader. I think that's cool. I would like. Are we doing like reprints, or are we doing like new, just like any character?
So here's what I envisioned. Obviously, you do this because it's nostalgic for people that bought these on like night one or that first wave or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
because I was also thinking it would make sense to get some type of Palpatine in this packaging.
Sure.
Like maybe they honestly might just redo this one, put it in it. You know, I would put it on the wall, and I would hate that I would love it. You know.
Yeah.
But I'd probably say Anakin, pregnant Padme would be good. Pletho, it's a good suggestion. Like Tarful, if we're doing new sculpts. But if we're doing like reprints, then I mean, there's really not that much from episode 3. Like, I don't know, Grievous. That's a tough one. Probably not Grievous, but R2. R2 is a little odd. But if they give him boosters, because the Yak Face picture does show. It's specifically a picture of him like flying up with the boosters coming out of his legs. So that would be kind of, and we know they're just glued on. They pop off if you just heat it up. So they're sculpted to do that. I mean, obviously we have him on the R5.
Man, I looked up the wave 1 of Revenge of the Sith figures. These figures look like ass. They look so bad.
They weren't the best. They weren't the best.
I'm just like, these look so dumb. It's because it was back when they were all kind of gimmick heavy. Like the clone troopers have like super big arms because they all have like this quick draw action.
Yeah.
So I remember doing when those figures came out, like midnight, you know, Toys R Us, standing in line. I remember doing all of that. And I think for me, what stood out, I remember I got the Darth Vader. I bought the Darth Sidious. I bought a Chewbacca, and I bought Grievous. And to me, like, those were like the cool ones.
The cool, yeah. Do you think they put the prequel Yoda on this?
They could.
To single pack it?
They could single pack. If they did that, I would buy it. I'm gonna be honest.
I mean, honestly, I think I'm gonna buy. If I already have the figure, I'm gonna buy another one if they do it in this packaging. And if it's a new figure, I'm buying 2 because I'm getting every one of these. I also wouldn't hate it if they did like. We already have a red Darth Vader, so I was thinking like they could redo the Celebration 3 exclusive Darth Vader that's like red. Or it's like the Mustafar Lava Vader, they called it, but it's like this style packaging. Or like this adjacent packaging.
I think Gamer Zone is right. The red robe, the Senate Palpatine would be good.
Yeah. That's what that guy on Instagram.
Yeah.
What was his name? Black Series Concepts.
Yeah.
That's what his looks like. So I'm going to share my screen real quick. So if you're listening to the podcast, if you want to support us on Patreon, you can watch the video of this. And whenever he did this, he did a couple of these packagings. Like there's a Tarful looking one, and I guess I got to click to the next one. But yeah, this is what it would kind of look like, which would be pretty cool. That red robe Palpatine. So that would be nice. Oh, they could do Magna Guard again. The different color Magna Guard.
Sure.
Would be good.
And there are figures they could re-release in this packaging, and it would be fine. They could give us a new Obi-Wan and Anakin. I wouldn't care. They could release the Super Battle Droid. They could do the Yoda. If they want to give us a new Chewbacca, they could do it. They could give us the Coruscant Clone Trooper because he was part of Wave 1.
Yeah.
Figures. Same with a basic Phase 2 Clone Trooper in here. Like, if they released all of those, General Grievous, they could put that in there. The Magna Guard, they could put that in there. I would love like an all new, head to toe, all new Darth Vader.
Oh yeah, that would. I feel like
they're not going to do it, but
if they Obi-Wan Kenobi was our best shot. I feel like.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, that dual Zen Vader. If they put the same legs on that dual Zen Vader, after sculpting a new torso to put the scar on the back that we're never gonna see. You know, like
they could use this as an excuse to re-release Kit Fisto, or do an episode 3 specific like head sculpt for Kit Fisto.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm down for that. You know, my faves. So Pletho asks, what were some of the faves for the Revenge of the Sith line? One of my favorites was the roasted Anakin, and that came that came in a pack with like the chair, or not the chair, the table where he gets worked on. So if they could I don't know if they'd redo that, you know, in modern day Hasbro figures, but you never know. Like it's possible. And you know what's funny? Commander Cody was never released in this packaging back in the day.
He wasn't. I'm looking at it right now. That's not true. Oh, it's Commander Bly. Never mind. You're right.
Yeah, they never did Cody, and Cody came out in the Saga collection, I think, in 2006 or something. But so it wasn't a part of this fiery, you know, Darth Vader packaging.
Yeah,
which is...
I'm looking at the at all of the figures released in this packaging. I mean, they could redo Kiadi Mundi. They could redo Ayla Sakura in it. They could redo the Destroyer droid, the Droideka.
Oh, Droideka. In like a deluxe huge version of this. Yeah, that would be kind of wild.
Commander Bly, like why not? The 501st was in there. They called it Tactical Ops Trooper, but that's clearly... Oh, it does say Vader's Legion on the bubble. So that's clearly 501st.
Oh, a new 501st with accurate blue paint. I'd have to buy 12 of them. I would have to buy 12 of them.
You'd redo the whole thing.
I'd redo the entire thing. And I'd get one for the wall. So that'd be It'd be a baker's dozen there. I'd get 13. Please, Hasbro, please don't do that. You're going to tempt me so bad. If they do it with the Kenobi blue, the light blue, I'm good. I will only need it for the wall. So...
obviously they could give us more regular battle droids in this packaging as well. Like there's not anything they would put in here that I wouldn't buy at least 2 of, one for the wall, one for, because I have to say, like, while this wasn't my childhood packaging, this is probably the most striking packaging they've done.
Like, is it the greatest Star Wars packaging they've ever done? No, probably not. But is it like visually striking, like you said? Yeah, absolutely. Like the colors, the way it blends from that blue and the Vader helmet to the fiery, you know, orange and yellow and red we get in the fire down below. It's an incredible looking package. It's so unique with the way the bubble like curves back at the top. So
for sure,
I love it. But we can move on along to the Skeleton Crew figures, which they released, or they revealed the entire first wave. And I just want to say, this guy might have one of the worst names in Star Wars history.
It's awful. It's so bad. I'm just going to call him Jude Law.
Yeah, I'm glad, because we hadn't discussed that prior to the show. So I'm glad you are on the same page with me. I didn't know his name until I was doing our show and I was writing the reveals. And I was like, what is his name? Jod Na Nawud? That is one of the worst names in Star Wars.
I might call him just Jod or Jod Nawud, but I will never, ever, ever, ever call him Jod Na Nawud because, first of all, Star Wars characters don't need middle names. They don't.
Yeah.
They just don't.
Yeah, this is a terrible name. Whoever came up with this name, do better. Yeah, Jod or Jude Law is this character's name, like, for sure. But he does look cool.
He looks fine. Yeah, I don't like his scarf. I think that's stupid, honestly.
The scarf is a little much, and
it just doesn't look good.
He looks like, who were we saying he looked like? Somebody from, like, Marvel or something. It was on the VIP hangout. He kind of looks like the guy from those Marvel movies.
Pletho asks, what's the opposite of rolls off the tongue?
Look, Pletho and Paragon were in the VIP hangout, so let me know who was the Marvel character that this guy looks like. Star-Lord. Yeah, he looks like Star-Lord.
It kind of does look like Star-Lord for sure. Yeah, he's got that vibe.
So I'm not picking this figure up, but I'm considering it for the Cantina 3D print. I feel like he can just be a cool guy sitting in the corner of the Cantina at a random booth.
Yep.
You know, maybe you just face him away from the wall so you don't see the face, or you can kind of have him in the corner.
Yep.
So I think it's not a bad Cantina figure if you have a 3D print.
I could see him. I could see him in what's his face, Stellan. From Andor. From Andor. I could see both of them sitting at a table, like at the Cantina.
You know what? I'm just looking at like his face. Does he kind of look like that guy that's like talking to Chewbacca in the Cantina?
A little bit, yeah. Boshek, yeah. He's a little Boshek-y.
Yeah, just like a white guy, kind of like a pointy.
Yeah, he's just a generic white guy with dark hair, and a little bit thinning hair. Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, I see it.
Yeah, I see it too now. Honestly, he's put him in a spacesuit, and you're good.
Yeah, right. Just pop that head sculpt off, and look. I'm gonna share it right here. That's literally him. That's him.
Yeah, he's got longer hair, but like it's there for sure.
Yeah, that face looks similar though, like the shape of the nose and the shape of the head. I feel like it's there.
I think it's closer to the figure, but not closer. I don't think this is a very good likeness to Jude Law, to be honest.
Yeah, that makes sense. And
but on the same vein, because we won't talk about it, one of the G.I. Joe reveals, Footloose, is like a spot-on Pedro Pascal.
I saw it. Yeah, you sent that. Yeah.
But like, it's not Pedro, but it sure as hell looks like Pedro.
Wait, that wasn't supposed to be Pedro?
No.
Oh, I thought it was. Like, I thought he did something with G.I. Joe or something.
No.
Oh, wow. No. That's actually kind of incredible. That he might need to sue. Do you think they just took an old, like, unused Black Series sculpt and were like, just change it a little bit, and then
it looks better than anything's like Black Series ever tried to do? It's nuts. It's weird. It's wild.
Yeah, that is kind of strange. I do want to say this character is supposed to be a Jedi, right?
Yeah, I think in the trailer, I'm pretty sure he has a lightsaber. Like we see it.
Okay, so I don't remember the lightsaber, so I'm gonna need to watch the trailer again. But this kind of sucks if you buy this one because you know he's gonna whip out a lightsaber at some point, and then they're gonna release a second one, maybe in a different outfit and with a lightsaber. So maybe hold off. I don't know. I mean, obviously that's your decision if you're listening to this.
Maybe. Well, here's the thing. I'm reserving judgment. I'm very open to the possibility that when we watch Skeleton Crew, I'll fall in love with it. I love everything about it, and I want every version of every character in it. Like, that is a distinct possibility. I don't think it's likely, but it could happen. It has the potential because there's so many things that we've seen about this that I love. Space pirates, robot pirates, Wolfman pirates, mostly pirates. Like now that I think about it, it's mostly pirates. But this guy has like a pirate-esque, like, look at that coat. Like his coat has like
where his
he has a pirate
his blaster.
Yeah.
Even the shape of the blaster. Yeah.
The shape of the blaster.
Looks like little
I just noticed the little design and cuff on his sleeve. Like he has pirate tendencies, like pirate aesthetics. So I'm open to the possibility that I could absolutely love this, and I'll want both versions of it.
And then next up we have Neil. So this was leaked. We saw the body, and we saw the head sculpt first, unpainted, and then now we get the body, which I do have to say, this figure does look pretty cool. I really like how on these kid figures that the backpacks are actually usable with the accessories. Like you can plug the accessories into the backpacks, which is a really nice touch. That you
like
can
the flashlight and stuff.
Yeah, you can plug them into the backpack for like specific slots. So that's a great design there. Because I mean, like we have backpacks in Black Series. Like, is it the Endor Rebel where
Endor Rebel, Anakin Skywalkers, even what's your face? The one that came with OSHA. Like, it's nice, but it's useless.
Yeah, and even like the Hoth Rebel, it has the alternate face in the bottom back of it. But like, you're not using that for any accessories that
correct
come with the figure, you know, like the blaster or any like handheld thing. So, but this is really unique. And, but yeah, I feel like this figure does look a little bright though. I feel like he does need a little bit of a dark wash, but he's also might just have super clean clothes in the show.
Sure.
So,
I think so. Is this the name of the planet at Atten?
Yeah, it's on. That's on a couple of these kid figures.
So it's weird because it sounds like someone took like AT-AT where they say at and they made it like a verb. Like I'm just here I go at Atten again. Like
and down the street.
Oh man, the Empire's at Attenus.
So is that Atten like that's like another way to say like a slow stroll?
Yes, a very slow, deliberate. Yeah,
perfect. But what are your thoughts on Neil here?
I mean, I'm gonna get the kids. So I'm in on all of these just because same thing. I like to have a representation of anything Star Wars on my shelf. So if this is the only time that we get these kids, like I'm gonna want to own them. It's not super exciting. I'm gonna be honest. Like right now, with no connection to them, I'm buying a little elephant looking kid.
I mean, this is the coolest kid by far, though.
Oh, 100% of all of them. This is the coolest one. Is it? You know, people are saying he's not an Ortolan or whatever. The
Max Rebo.
The Max Rebo.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah. Apparently, he's not one. But look. In my head canon, he is, okay?
Yep.
You're not going to take that from me.
No, his last name is Rebo. He's Neil Rebo, and you can't tell me otherwise.
You can't tell me he's not, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
I hope in the show he has a line like, yeah, my uncle plays in a band somewhere in the Outer Rim or something dumb like that.
It'd instantly be the best part of the thing.
Or like his dad sending him off to school and it was like, well, remember your uncle's playing a show. We might make it, you know. That'd be kind of sick. But this is the best kid of all the kids. That Neil is the best one in my opinion.
For sure. Yeah, I agree.
And then we have Whim. So another character that has a usable backpack, which is cool. That's kind of this one literally just looks straight out of Stranger Things. Flashlight.
Yeah.
Normal looking kid, like human clothes, like literally just a jacket with like a sweatshirt underneath and pants, and this looks like wearing basic human shoes. This looks like something straight out of like Stranger Things. So not super Star Warsy, but also like not, you know, like not super unique or anything.
I'm going to say though, at the very least, like some of these accessories are cool to have just for like photography purposes.
Oh, for sure.
Like, like a flashlight, like that's just kind of neat.
Oh yeah. And but yeah, like I said, I like how the backpacks use all the accessories, which is really cool. You can plug them in, make it look like it's being used.
It looks like he has a monkey's paw.
On his there. It is kind of odd that thing there. Is that an accessory you can pull out? I guess it has to be.
I mean, it looks like it. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's plugged in the box too. So yeah, I only chose these couple pictures, so I'd have to look. But next up, we have Fern. So another character that looks straight out of Stranger Things. You know, a jacket with some patches and some normal, like, human clothes, really. Another backpack, but only her one accessory plugs in, the little flashlight. You know, plugs.
Yeah, she comes with the least amount of everything, and that it's kind of lame, but
yeah. And her colors are very dull, which is like
they're very dull
to like Neil. You know, Neil's so bright.
Well, even the other kid, like he's got the patch of blue in there, and
the white jacket, and then we get Fern, and it's like browns and khakis and tans and all that. So, but I mean, it looks good. They did go all out on these, like sculpt wise. I think they look They should. I mean,
no reuse here.
Right there. Thigh swivel on Fern.
For sure. Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, so Fern's gonna be in the new like, oh really? You put thigh swivel on Fern, but not like insert important character here. Yeah, they all have like this one had Velcro sneakers.
Yeah,
it looked kind of what it looks like.
It does, yeah, for sure.
And then we have the last kid is KB, which kind of like more, I would say more space looking, like with the eye goggle things, like the little laser goggles, and then the
like their
type thing.
They're like a cyborg kind of thing.
Yeah, I guess I don't know what's going on with this kid, but so hopefully they explain it in the show.
Yeah.
Maybe this species has like eyes that don't work in certain, or maybe
it could be a Miralucan. They don't have working eyes.
Yeah, so maybe like that helps them out. But also, one accessory other than the backpack, and it plugs in on the side, which is cool.
Yeah, that kind of sucks. Like going through all the other ones, the first two have
they have a
bunch of accessories. Yeah, and then the second two get jack shit.
Speaking of getting jack shit, before we get off of the kids, I have to say, seeing this compared to or this one specifically, like these two, comparing to what we got with the Phantom Menace Anakin Skywalker, kind of
100%, a little bit,
kind of hurts a little bit.
Yep.
Like we only got the backpack on Anakin. We couldn't get any like tools for his little shop he worked in or a helmet.
Yep.
That would have made a lot of sense. But all these kids get a backpack, and this one looks like it has 4 accessories plus a backpack, and Neil's got 3 additional accessories, and who knows if that one in the backpack pops out. So
right. Like I feel like they should all at least come with a walkie-talkie and a flashlight.
Yeah, so it looks like they can talk to each other.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're gonna have to communicate.
2 of them have walkie-talkies.
Yeah, and they're different. I think they might be the same sculpt but painted different. Because that one has just red, and then this one has like a little speckle of white on it. Yeah, those are definitely different walkie-talkies there. And the other, maybe it'll only be them 2 communicating. So maybe it's in the show. Maybe
it makes sense in the show. Yep.
Yeah, but the jumpsuit does look cool. I think the jumpsuit, I like the belt on it the best for the jumpsuit. Plus, it doesn't look interesting. I think the belt looks cool. Overall, the jumpsuit is kind of bland, but I like the
Ghostbuster outfit.
Yeah, a little Ghostbustery. But the best one by far, and I'm not accepting any other answers, is Pirate Captain Brutus. Yeah. This guy is going straight to my Cantina display. I might order a second one and find some way to head swap him onto something else, and gonna do the hand swap and everything, because this guy, he's big, he's beefy, he looks mean, and he comes with 5 blasters, I think 5 or 6, we know, which is insane. And they all plug into him, like as far the holsters on his chest and his sides. So, and the paint looks incredible. Like, look at on his skirt piece. You have like a brown at the top and then like a blue at the bottom, and then, well, I know you're colorblind, so I'm sorry, but
it's okay,
Mike. I promise. There's multiple shades. About it.
Yeah,
there's multiple shades and like brushing and like wash on his skirt, and it looks incredible.
Yeah, this is easily the one to look forward to in this. Like, I feel like everyone, even if they don't like the show, will want this figure just because it's a cool figure by itself.
Yep, and just the fact that it just plugs right into anything else on the shelf. Like, if you have a Cantina 3D print or anything from the Cantina,
Jabba's Palace.
Jabba's Palace.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could put it with like, if you have like a solo display, you could put it with like what's that character's name? The big guy that has
Dryden Voss or Moloch.
Moloch, and like any kind of aliens or like bad guys. Like, this is perfect. And then I love the snarl.
So good.
I love the head sculpt on this. It's incredible.
Yeah, like if you showed me this figure and said the new show is going to have this, I wouldn't have to know anything else about it to know I'm at least going to watch it, because this checks all the boxes for me. I love pirates. I love wolf guys. Done.
Yeah, sign me up. And like, this figure whatever year it ends up getting released, like if it ends up being released later this year.
It's this year. They'll come out. Yeah. But they're not even up for pre-order yet, which is weird. I thought they go up today.
You know, Yakface reported that no pre-order on this wave.
They're just going to start showing up?
Yeah, they're just going to start showing up, which is an odd decision. But
yeah.
But I pay close attention to like all the sculpted detail. This might be one of the best figures of the year. Like you look at the individual sculpted lines on the sleeve. If you look at the chest piece on the right side of it, it's like it has like almost like it's damaged, and then it's like the dots, and then it has like different like textures all over, which is incredible.
There's a lot going on. Yeah.
Like this is a lot of attention to detail and work on this sculpt. It might be one of the best of the year whenever it comes out.
I agree.
That's how incredible this looks. So I'm really hoping it's not one of those figures that looks amazing and you get it in hand and it's a letdown.
Doesn't have thigh swivels, so who knows?
Right? Yeah, thigh swivel on the kids. Yeah, thigh swivel on the kids, but not Brutus. But with all that sculpted detail on the chest and the skirt piece down there, I can forgive a thigh swivel on this one.
Yeah, I will say, I hope at some point they give us the robot first mate, Smee.
Yep.
That's a fun looking design.
Yeah, any like weird aliens or droids from this show, like absolutely count me in on, like for sure.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely.
But no pre-orders for this wave, so they are just going to start showing up at some point.
Interesting. Yeah, because the vintage collection stuff went up for pre-order today.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I didn't know that.
You know, the stuff that we don't care about.
Yeah. But yeah, so if you have not pre-ordered Commander Cody yet, I'm pretty sure he's still in stock. And I did want to ask you, does that make you nervous that he's still up for pre-order? Because I know like this figure is probably pretty in demand, especially with that packaging. And we know Walmart has a history of canceling things because they sell it at the beginning. And I'm kind of afraid that's going to happen on this one, since it looks like it's been up for pre-order for, ever since it went up.
No, I genuinely, I'm not worried about it. I think that they knew this is going to be popular. I will say, I didn't cancel this, but I went to go cancel some other things to consolidate pre-orders to save on shipping, because I pre-ordered them individually. And one of my biggest complaints in the past with Walmart is that you can't change the card on file, and you can't change the address that you use when you pre-order. You have to cancel it and reorder it to change any of that stuff, which sucks because a lot of times it's out of stock, so you can't do it. But now Walmart has updated it so you can change both those things one time. So that's nice. That's nice.
There you go.
Good job. Welcome to 2024. Welcome to the current year, Walmart. Glad you can make it.
And that helps you out drastically because, you might be making a move at some point.
I was genuinely worried about missing out on Cody by the time I move and then just not being able to get him because I have to cancel it or whatever. But yeah, it looks like I'll be able to change because he's not coming out till June of next year.
Mike, if I had 2 on pre-order, I would sacrifice 1 and give it to you.
That's so
even
nice
if I didn't I'd have to wait for Commander Cody to be able to open it.
Oh, is that what you do? You'd save it. You wouldn't open it. That'd be the one that goes on the wall or on your little back thing.
Yeah. Like if I got my order and you had to cancel yours, it would be I wouldn't open it. It would be the one that I would at least have.
I was wondering which one you would keep. Yeah.
I would eventually find one to open. So
I mean, I don't think it would be an issue. I think Hasbro's pretty good about. I think the only thing they haven't re-released that's been super popular has been the Target Clone Wars figures.
Yeah, that's true.
I think everything else they've been pretty good about re-releasing.
Yeah, I was just a little worried that Walmart might be over pre-ordering this a little, and then whenever it's ready, they'll just cancel a bunch of them.
I don't think we had that issue with, was it Fives or Jesse, whichever one had the pre-order issue where like no one could pre-order it and then everyone pre-ordered it. I don't think anything's really been canceled from Walmart for a while. I think Target is mostly been canceling things on people. I think that they've been the bigger culprit of that recently.
Yeah, I'm not going to give too much credit to these big box retailers.
Oh no, not at all. They don't deserve it. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm so stoked that, you know, I would have pre-ordered 2 of those.
Yeah.
That was just a must. Like I was there like on the moment, like ready to go. So that was exciting. But other than that, that's all the reveals, that's all the news. I think the only thing we have left, you know, kind of a quick podcast this time. Only a quick Hall of Fame entry. Last episode, we put Ventress in, and Mike, I have a suggestion for the Hall of Fame.
Hit me.
I can take on the whole empire myself.
You want to do the snow speeder and Dak?
Oh, that just fell. A battle damage snow speeder. I cast my vote or my entry for the snow speeder and Dak to be entered into the Black Series Hall of Fame. This is one of the most incredible pieces in the Black Series.
Do you wish you'd gotten it sooner?
Yeah, I think I got it at like a good time though, you know.
Okay.
But if you are heavy into the Black Series, if you're listening to this podcast, obviously you are. And if you don't have this, make it a point to, you know, put aside some money, you know, get this. It's incredible. I always kind of slept on it. I was like, yeah, I mean, I'll eventually get it one day. You know, it is a fairly large item, so you have to make a room for it. But, you know, I didn't expect to love it. Like, it was always something I wanted. I didn't expect to like absolutely adore it as much as I do. I think it's incredible. So this is my vote for the Hall of Fame. And then you can make your entry and then we can see.
Sure. Well,
we can go over a couple other figures and see what makes it in. But I think the snow speeder is incredible.
Sure. I have a list. And I think every week for the last couple of weeks, I've been saying I really want Cad Bane in it. But after...
Is Cad Bane the new Clone Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi?
I think so.
Next episode.
I think so. Because I was actually going to suggest, and I can't believe I hadn't thought of it. I think last week someone suggested Captain Rex. And I'm like, why haven't we... Captain Rex in there?
So we can let the chat decide Rex or Snowspeeder.
But honestly, I think I would go with you. I do think of all of the vehicles they've done, the Snowspeeder is the best.
Oh, absolutely. Like, and I've seen the TIE Fighter, and it's just a chunk of like it's a little cheap. You know, it's a little cheaper than you would expect it to be. But this thing is amazing. The Snowspeeder, I'm in love with it, and I know I just got it, but it's been in the Black Series a long time.
I've had it since it came out, so it's been 4 years for me. So I'm going to allow it, and I'm going to endorse it.
So there we have it.
Yes, Pletho, they are making a new Rex. They're making a Phase 1 Rex. We don't know how different it's going to be. But I don't think they'd replace a Phase 2 Rex. But that could be a reason to hold off on Rex, is just to see if they do update it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that Rex is still good enough for the whole.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like that Rex is still good. But I'm going to give this one to you. I'm going to endorse your pick.
Hell yeah. Snowspeeder it is. If you don't have the Snowspeeder, I promise it's worth it. You get Dak, you can plug your, Snowspeeder Luke into it. It's really fun messing around with. And
I have
all
two
parts.
Yeah, I have two Hoth Luke Skywalkers, the Snowspeeder Luke Skywalkers, one to go in there and one for the shelf. Because I didn't like that I couldn't see that Luke once it's in in the snowspeeder, but I still want it in snowspeeder.
I'm having that issue too because I need a second one now because it's one of the best Lukes we have. It's an amazing Luke figure, but now it's just sitting in a cockpit and I can barely see him, you know. So definitely gonna have to get a second one of those. But the snowspeeder is entry number 14 into the Black Series Cantina Hall of Fame. But with that, I mean, we kind of had a quick episode this time for the Black Series Cantina. I can't remember if I talked about this last time on the podcast, but I do want to do a quick shout out. This was sent to me, and I want to get the username absolutely correct. So I am going to pull out. I kind of forgot to do it for Fine Editions. I knew I had something. JP Lavanda. This was, remember when I did the leak?
Oh yeah,
or the fake. I tricked you all on the 9num. But this was sent to me to do like a little kit. Sent me a couple different parts. So I just want to give you another shout out on that. So thank you very much.
Yeah, you did a good job because you took a really bad picture on like your floor, so it looked like like a typical leak photo where it was taken by someone with like cerebral
potato camera,
where they can't keep their hands straight, and it's like the worst possible picture.
So what I did, I set it on the that bar that's in my basement.
Yeah.
I set it on that, and then I walked like as far away as I could and zoomed in on it really far to get it kind of grainy.
Oh, it's grainy. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I sent it to you all. I was like, look at this leak. Tricked everybody, which was cool.
It took it with the pocket shirt. Oh, Plateau.
But yeah, another shout out for sending me that real quick before we end the pod. I think it's pretty good work on that. I'm pretty excited for that. But so that's probably gonna do it. Do you have any more thing you want to throw in there before we jump off this episode?
Well, I did a video on Captain Enoch and Night Trooper because I want to do some spooky videos, and I feel like the Night Trooper is like zombie adjacent at the very least.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
So I did a video on those two figures. So if you want to go watch it, it's watchable.
Yeah, absolutely. So subscribe to Mike on YouTube at Mike Case, and then on Instagram, Twitter, it's all the same handle, Mike Case, I'm pretty sure. Also join our Facebook group. That's Black Series Cantina. You got to answer a couple questions to get in, but it's a cool group, and that's mostly where we update like when we're recording the podcast and all that. So that group is growing, and we'd like to grow some more. If you can't support us on Patreon, leave a review on like Apple or Spotify or wherever you listen to this. Like it, leave a review if you can, 5-star review preferably. We also have merch if you want to support us by like getting a shirt. I would love to see somebody next con I go to like wearing a Black Series Cantina shirt or hoodie. That would be really, really awesome. Follow us on Twitter at TBS Cantina, and keep the email segment alive, blackseriescantina@gmail.com. Follow me on TikTok at the Star Wars Black Series. You can see my unboxing on the snowspeeder went viral. It's almost at 100K, but I'm getting some crazy comments on that, which is kind of funny. The one we got, I talked about it in the Patreon intro. And then follow me on Instagram. I'll update for the podcast there as well. Black Series Cantina on Instagram. And that's going to do it for episode 82 of the Black Series Cantina. I'm Zach. That's Mike. We'll be back in 2 weeks, hopefully covering more reveals from 1027 and MCM London Comic Con.
Bye.